that feeling. Want to take the journey with me. We'll turn this floor up into the ceiling. Oh, don't let it go to waste. Can you feel it in your face? I don't need to know you. Yeah, come through with your best self. Now I'm no doctor, but I got this product. I know it's good for your health. I can't help myself. I can't help myself. No, I got to have you.
No, I got to have you. Said I know I got. Let me stop there. I can't help myself, dog. Welcome to the Help Myself podcast. Listen, I'm your host, John M. Singletary Senior. I got to put that senior in there because I got my junior. He's in the background. I don't know if you can see him, but he is playing some weird Disney tunes tonight, and I'm here for it. If that's what he wants to play, then that's what we're doing. Listen, at this point of the night, he probably should be in bed, but it's still the summer. We got 2 more weeks left until it's time to go back to school. So I'm going to let it ride. You know what I'm saying? But the Help Myself podcast, we here on this day. I wanted to get something in right before this day closed because August 5th is a day that will live in infamy in the halls of Black history. And today is the anniversary of the Montgomery Brawl. I'm sorry. I said it like they was dancing. There was some dancing going on, all right, man. Them hands. The Montgomery Brawl. But I affectionately call it Fade in the Water. Hit them with the fade in the water. Fade in the water, children, fade in the water. So, man, we couldn't go by without acknowledging that day, that chair. Listen, I've been seeing so many lift every chair and swing. I done seen so many memes. I've been enjoying them all. I've been sharing them on my socials, man. That was an amazing day. You know, and a lot of people would be like, you know what, I don't advocate for violence. I think that was the time when an ass whooping was very much called for. And I am a firm believer that when an ass whooping is needed, an ass whooping should be delivered. So when people say that they don't condone violence under any circumstance, I'll be quiet because I don't know if I can go with you there. So we want to tip our hat to that historic moment. And I think I'll probably do some editing here and insert some cool footage right here. I think that'll be something cool to do. But right now, I want to come to you not completely on shenanigans. We want to talk about some serious things. I want to talk about how, and pardon me if my eye contact is all over the place. You know, I produce and do all this, so shout out to me.
Honey.
Maybe that one wasn't the one I was looking for. This is the one I wanted. There you go. There you go. That's the one I wanted, but my volume is all crazy. You know, but shout out for the production and shout out for, you know, me doing what I do. Shout out for that. So, but yeah, you know, kind of wanted to come at you with something serious. I just got started in the shenanigans, and y'all know how I am when it comes to the shenanigans. I just get kind of excited, man, for good reason. Good reason. Shenanigans are very, very exciting. But today I want to come to you. We want to introduce some segments, but we will do that next week. So we wanted to just come in, acknowledge the Montgomery Brawl, acknowledge, you know, what that meant, you know, and again, some people might not like it. And if you don't like it, I don't even think we apologize. We're not sorry. This just ain't the episode or the podcast for you. And that's fine. But for all my folks that's with it, we with it. And we recognize this day. But I do want to drop something in your spirit to encourage you, to keep you moving. I want you to recognize that, you know, here at the Help Myself podcast, I got to help myself. And if I'm helping myself and you're helping yourself, guess what? That means that we're all getting better together. And that's what I always say. Why not do it together? And so today's episode is one that's been sitting on my heart for a while because I've lived it. I felt it. And I know somebody out there needs it too. So I'm going to keep it real plain with all this weird music going on in the background. But here's what I'm going to share with you. Winning will change you. Winning will change you. And I say this because I want us to understand that sometimes psychologically we have to press through the dull, the losing, the things not going our way so that we can get to winning. Because when you get to winning, those wins, one, they'll stack up. But when you start to win, it changes how you really look at something. And I'm talking about, like, you know, that first time you catch a crucial win, a real win, your brain starts operating on a new frequency. So that would be the first thing about winning and how it changes you. It's the psychological shift of winning. And I say this because there are some of you that are putting in the work and you're at a point where you might feel like you want to give up. And I want to let you know that you have to keep building that foundation because you get yourself caught into a cycle. If you keep trying things and they get tough, and I'm not saying that they haven't gotten specifically tough. Sometimes things get tough enough where it is a valid thing to think, oh, maybe I should quit. But sometimes you just need to run that thing into the ground because you need to find out if it's possible for you to win in this thing. And when you catch one of them real wins, it changes. It shifts how you see things. You start walking different. You start thinking different. You even start dreaming different. And so I want to encourage you to keep pushing for that psychological shift that comes from winning, because whether we recognize it or not, success isn't just about external stuff like money or recognition. It's about that internal transformation, that change on the inside of you. When you become a winner, there's something that has happened on the inside of you. You are no longer what you used to be. If we're going to utilize Karate Kid, something that has appeared on my TV about 3 or 4 times here in the last week or so, the Karate Kid from my day with Ralph Macchio was wash on, wash off, man. My man waxing cars, and that motion helped him become a better fighter. For all of you that are more familiar with the version with Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan, We understand that him taking his coat off, picking it up off the ground, hanging it up onto the the jacket, the coat stand, all of those shifted his ability. And once he got frustrated with it, and Jackie Chan showed him how those movements made him dangerous in fighting, it shifted his mind. And when you've been putting in work, once you realize all of that repetition, that tedious work, that showing up, that storyboarding, that creating, that speaking, that building, that dreaming, and those things that you continue to do, once you realize that they were all giving you tools that will come in handy for you in that moment when you are really ready to step up and be the winner that not only were you created to be, but you're destined to be, that you truly are inside. You just have not had the true opportunity to show the world how much of a winner you are. Once that moment comes, that muscle memory is so ingrained that it changes you. It rewires how you think. You stop asking that question, can I do this? And you start asking questions like, what else can I do? So I want to encourage you to stop second guessing your work. Stop shrinking in these rooms that you were born to be in, and not only be in, but to lead in. And please stop apologizing for your gifts, your talents, and the things that you're good at. Listen, I remember early in my career, I got a leadership opportunity, and a lot of people said I wasn't ready for it. But I leaned in and I locked in, and that win right there, it shifted me. I never looked at myself the same again. And I'll never forget, a dear friend of mine had said all the time, hey, you've got charisma, you can speak, you can do all these things, but I want to see you lead. And I'll never forget, those words impacted me, and that changed how I looked at things. I wanted to pick up what I needed to be a leader, because basically what she was saying was, I had a lot of things that may have been in the arena of winning, of leading, things that were adjacent to winning and leading. But for me to really lead, I had to lead. And once I led, once I locked in, once I started seeing the value of my leadership, it shifted me. And I'm different because of it. I don't see the world. And so the thing I found out is that with new levels, you've got new thinking. Let's talk truth. Because the reality is you can't bring your old mindset to your next level. If we're talking about winning, you can't continue to be the person that you once were. Now that you're seeing the winning, you're seeing the transformation and the change, not only can you not continue to be the same person, same mindset, doing the same things, a lot of times you can't entertain the same type of activities and conversations that you entertained before. And I'm not saying this radical change thing, but if you're hearing it a lot, it probably means that there's some truth to it. Like there's just some stuff you got to let go so you can go up. Because when it's going to stretch you, it's going to demand more focus, more boundaries, more self-discipline. I remember, getting into leadership. It used to be a lot of fun hanging out with my peeps and this, that, and the other. But now I got different responsibilities. I can't hang out like I used to hang out. I remember I started leading in my military career, man. I remember I used to just show up at conferences. Now I got to get there early. I got to make sure everybody is getting there. I got to make sure that we are in our place, and how are we going to help put it? Like, it was such a big change, man. And I appreciate that, because then I got to a point where, once you really got in your bag, I didn't even go with the same mentality. Like, I didn't come into a conference or an event or a training looking for opportunities to hang out and have fun and do all of this. I started coming into the events looking for, how can I make this better? What can I add? Who needs help here or there? What do we need to do to make sure everybody's in place? Safety protocols, things like that. Because I was at a new level and it required a new thinking of me. And that's why some people fumble the bag, That's why, they want the blessing. they don't want to become the kind of person that can carry that blessing. And if you really want to get out there and win, that is a big part of it, is to become the type of person that can carry the weight of winning, because winning isn't just a fun thing that happens and now, you know, the credits pop up on the screen and the music starts playing and you won. Nah, it comes with weight. It comes with change. It comes with responsibility. It comes with, you know, you got to walk it and talk it in a different way. Now, listen, and look, let me just put it like this. Some folks want the reward, but they don't want the refinement that comes from becoming a winner. And they see, like, you see some people and you like, you know, you just cool with losing. And they're like, you know what? I've seen how much weight it is. Like, winning ain't just like scratching off the lottery and it's a bunch of money. Like, it's some grind associated with that. And I don't really want to change. I want to keep on doing the same stuff I've been doing. And part of the sacrifice of that is just not being the winner that I could be. And I ain't judging. I've been there trying to level up, but still holding on to the habits and the people and the beliefs that didn't fit the new version of me. And it costs. It costs, because growth is uncomfortable. And elevation comes with isolation. It's really no getting around that. And transformation, it isn't convenient. Guess what? It's worth it. So, you know, when we are trying to move to that next level, that winning will change you, because you'll shift psychologically when you start to win. And when you get to those new levels, you got to change the way you're thinking. But then here's the part that we don't talk about a lot. And I think we all understand how obvious it is, but we don't want to talk about the real nuts and bolts to it. And that's when, you know, the world reacts differently to the version of you that has transformed into a winner. You know, you start winning, suddenly people change. And it's not always because you've changed, but now all of a sudden you become a mirror and you're a reflection of their stagnation and what they haven't done in life. And they see themselves, and you become a reflection of uncomfortable truths in the lives of others. And when that does happen, some folks, they're going to find a way to put some distance in between you. You got to be willing to accept that. A lot of times they'll say, oh, you different now. And fact of the matter is, you're different. And it's true. That's the point. People out here dying to ball. They trying too hard. Then they turn around and try to judge me like it's a crime to evolve. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle. Listen, we've got to make the changes. I just posted on my socials something that just really made me think about it, is that the thing that is most worth having in life and love and the pursuit of happiness is usually the thing that has the most power to absolutely destroy and crush you. And even with that before you, you still have to go for the win. Listen, some relationships are going to fall off. Some circles, they're not going to feel like home anymore. But hear me. You are not obligated to make yourself small just to keep other people comfortable. Because, listen, winning is not ego, it's evolution. So don't let guilt trick you into going backwards. You got to keep growing. You got to keep going. But more importantly, man, you got to embrace the change. Listen, you start to change your mindset. You start to elevate. You start to have to let go of things and people and ways and stuff that used to be everything to you. And now, LJ is agreeing. Let me encourage somebody right now. Stop apologizing for your growth. I kind of said that before, but I'm going to say it again. Because listen, you've been working for this level. You've been dreaming about it. You've been praying for it. And now it's here. I'm going to need you to walk with it in boldness. You're a winner now. And everything that comes with that. Everything that comes with that. You've had to deal with the discipline, the sacrifice, the repetition over and over and over, doing things that are uncomfortable, things that hurt, You had to deal with, sometimes you had to be alone and isolated. You've had to deal with all this. And now the fruit of your labor has become available. Your life has changed. Your mind has changed. The opportunities have changed. Now there are things available to you that weren't available before. So say this with me. I'm not changing, I'm becoming. We'll say that again. I'm not changing, I'm becoming. This isn't ego, it's elevation. And your comfort is not the goal, your calling is. So look, winning isn't just about achievement, it's about alignment. So when you're aligned with purpose, everything around you starts to shift. And I promise you, that's not a loss, that's a transformation. So I want to leave you with a quick challenge. I don't want to just get up here and say a lot of good stuff about winning and how it changes things and how it changes you. I want to challenge you to embrace it and want to challenge you to seek it. And I want to give you a quick challenge. I want you to take 5 minutes and write down 3 ways in which your mindset has grown since you started winning. I don't care what it is you're winning in. It could be winning in school. It could be winning at your job. It could be winning in a fantasy football league. I don't care. I'm saying this because, preseason football starting this week, but whatever it is, even in the small ways, celebrate it, own it, and talk about 3 ways that your mindset has grown since you started winning. And just look at that and use that. That is something that you can engineer into small and big wins. And, like for instance, just how you approach something now that you're winning. When you know what you're doing and you win, that confidence, that you're not tight and breathing. I always think about, baseball is one of my weaker sports, right? I wasn't a good hitter. If you get me on base, man, I could steal some bases, but them good pitchers that could pitch that thing, And I always thought, man, if I was in a position trying to pitch, I'd be scared. But you got to understand that they've been practicing and doing the work. So when they get up there and they look at a hitter, they're not afraid. They thinking about, I got this heat and I'm about to throw a strike. I'm about to do this. Because when you start winning, it changes your mind. You're not out there afraid. You're out there confident because you know what you're capable of. And if I want anything for you, I absolutely want you to win. But not just for winning's sake, but because of what winning teaches you. It teaches you what you're capable of doing, what you're capable of becoming, who you're capable of being. So how about we bring this home? Winning will change you. It's definitely not a bad thing because it's supposed to change you. Winning is meant to shape you, but not into someone you don't recognize, but into somebody that you always dreamed of and always knew you could be. So, yeah, we're going to turn this music on and see where it's at. I might have played it too long. Uh-oh. Yeah, I hear the music. Ooh. Oh, we all the way at the beginning. Well, let me turn it down to make sure you can hear me while we're talking about this. Here at the Help Myself podcast. Look, I definitely want to thank y'all for rocking with me. And as always, I want you to like, share, subscribe, and leave a review if this spoke to you. And I want you to remember, I can't help myself. Got to inspire, I've got to encourage, I've got to empower, but I can help myself by being the absolute best version of myself. And you can too. So why not we do it together?
Got me proud of key where you are. Might be higher, but not very far. I can't help myself.